My name's Elizabeth. I'm just here today to share a bit about what God's been doing in my life as I've been applying to medical schools and waiting on the responses. So about this time last year, I was studying for the MCAT. I took it, thank God it went well. And then I began my application journey. I applied to over 20 schools, which is pretty standard. And I didn't get a response from any of the schools till mid-December. I got one interview invitation from Wayne, and I interviewed in January. And after that interview, I didn't hear anything back for a while. And about 2 weeks later, I had a dream that my friends were telling me I was not going to get into Wayne, which was very odd. So when I woke up, I instantly I canceled the dream in Jesus' name, and I knew it wasn't from God. I can't really explain how I knew, but I just knew that. And that same day, I got notified that I was put on the wait list. So it clearly wasn't from God, because if he says you're not going to get in, you're not going to get in. And then afterward, I just waited, and I got no correspondence back from Wayne. I got to a point where I wasn't quite sure what was going on. And my mom brought up, the possibility that we could pray together about this whole situation and figure out what exactly the will of God was. And she brought up, the possibility of fasting for maybe a 3-day period and praying about revelation from God. So we agreed that we were going to fast for 3 days. We're going to pray specific scriptures about revelation, just so we can know what it is that God wanted me to do. So, as we embarked on the fasting, the first day I decided to do the fast, I had another dream where I was given an application packet and someone told me, hey, God told me to give this to you. I saved it for you. And then I was driving around a campus of some sort. So even before I began the prayer, it was clear that God wanted to tell me, yet I still didn't get a response from Wayne until after we fasted and prayed. The day after we finished, it was a Thursday, I was at work and I just was getting ready to clock out for work, and I picked up my phone and looky who texted me, Wayne, and all I got was congratulations, you've been offered admission. So I'm just sharing this testimony to encourage anyone who's waiting on the Lord, waiting for him to shed light on what it is he wants them to do, that you should continue to pray. And don't be afraid to phone a friend. I like solo prayers, but there is power in numbers. 1 chases 1,000, 2 chases 10,000. So just trust God. Trust that when you ask, he will answer, and don't be afraid of persistently asking. Knock and keep on knocking. It doesn't mean you don't believe it if you keep asking. I continued asking, believing every time I ask that he hears me, and that he already has decided to help me. But just persistence in prayer. That's what I wanted to share about the benefit of. So thank you for taking the time to listen.